If this anime hasn't taught me anything, it's that be careful how you treat children, because later on, things can go boom. Let's start the show. What's up, ladies, gentlemen, everything in between and on the outskirts. Welcome to Khazara Anime, where I'll attempt to give my thoughts on a reviewer's type of manner on anime that either I've been watching or recommended by people for me to take a look at. Today we're going to be looking at the 2014 anime Terrorinresonance that was brought to us by Studio Mappa, which was created and directed by the legendary Shinichiro Watanabe. If the name doesn't ring any bells, he was the one responsible for giving us the iconic Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo. He also had a hand in the anime Ergo Proxy, some parts within the animatrix, and even directed a music video for one of our favorite modern day musical geniuses, Flying Lotus, for his song More with Anderson .Paak off his album Flamagra. Yep, this guy made his mark in the form of media and animation, if you can't tell. So what is the plot synopsis to Terrorinresonance? Well, it's primarily centered around these two terrorists whose identity is only regulated to numbers due to the origins of how they came to be. 12 and 9. Out of the two, 9 is the most stoic and serious one. Even though he comes off as being cold and calculated, he is only that way due to his love for 12 and the objective at hand. 12, on the other hand, is the more social, easygoing, and lighthearted one, although he does say some things to make him sinister because he smiles while saying them. When it comes to showing emotions, he is the more down-to-earth one. These two childhood friends possess this intellect and skills that can make them the most dangerous individuals. They create bombs and devise schemes that will indeed come off as being horrific to the public. One may assume that because they have the title terrorists that they wouldn't possess any moral code or have any importance on human lives. But in all actuality, that logical thought may not necessarily be true about these two. These boys have a certain pattern that they like to follow, whereas before a bomb goes off, they release a video with masks on under the alias of Sphinx 1 and Sphinx 2. In their videos, they give the police or people a chance to find it before it goes off by giving people a riddle to solve. Not only that, if one was to take under consideration their behavior, each bomb threat becomes apparent that it was well thought out to the point where nobody would get hurt, albeit somebody's bank account due to the increase of property damage. However, it was one thing that they stole that began to really attract the attention of not just the police, but other entities whose identity will come to light over time. So the question is, who's going to be the one to stop them? Enter Detective Kinjiro Shibazaki, a cigarette-smoking father who works within the police department archives along with his food expert associate. Given his ability to solve puzzles, his level of paying attention to detail, he ends up solving a riddle from the Sphinx boys. This leads to him becoming the police department's ace and stopping the Sphinxes. Thus begins this game of cat and mouse. Or at least that's how this would have been simply, but unfortunately, not everything goes according to plan. For instance, the Sphinxes run in with this character Lisa Mishima, who will end up becoming entangled within their, circumstances. Lisa is kind of like this annoying damsel in distress whose usefulness is extremely limited in trying to survive the dangerous world the other characters find themselves involved in. But one may discover that she also brings a more sincere and decent human element to the people who are, for lack of a better term, monsters. As one watches the events play out, the viewer will come to know little by little the past events and reasoning behind the motivations of each character, which in my honest opinion is tragic. When I viewed Terrorinresonance, I looked at the dub, and the voice acting along with the writing was on point. You have Christopher Bevins, who voices the Code in Discipline 9. He has also voiced Joe from Prison School and Dawson from the Street Fighter games, just to name a few. Aaron Dismuke voices the energetic and lovable 12. He also has played Moriarty in the anime Moriarty the Patriot, Senku from Dr. Stone, and of course the kind-hearted Alphonse Eric from Full Metal Alchemist. Next up you have Jazz Saxton, who voices Misa and delivers this soft, timid, and innocent element to the character. If you don't know, she also voices one of the best anime girls ever, Tamaki from Fire Force. Lastly is Robert McCullen, who voices Kenjiro. He also voiced Reiner from Attack on Titan, the god himself Don Flamingo from One Piece, the Wizard King Julius from Black Clover, Stein from My Hero Academia, Jalal from Fairy Tail, Sensui from Yu Yu Hakusho, and I could just go on forever and ever. But we don't have that much time here. The voice actors played their characters quite well and was memorable due to the personalities realized. The music for Terror in Residence is perfection if anything. It was done by Yoko Kanno, this lady here. Alright, so along with Shinichiro Watanabe, who created Cowboy Bebop, Miss Yoko was the one responsible for its music. Yes, she was the one that was responsible for creating and composing the legendary intro song Tank along with Bebop's original soundtrack. Now, if you're not into anime, this wouldn't seem too important to you, but if you ask any diehard anime fan, this is paramount. So with that said, the music of Terror in Residence is awful.
What did he say?
Fool this man!
Nah, I'm just playing. It's hella awesome. You have contributions coming from Arno Dan, Hannah Berglund, Pop etc. and Ryo Nagano dropping in to provide vocals on a few of these tracks. My favorite songs are 22, which has this awesome positive lullaby feel to it, with the dreary and dreamy singing coming from Mr. Nagano. My next favorite track is Vaughn, where the vocals from Arno Dan sounds more like a sound effect in the background. Lava is just pure bliss, which reminds me of a tad bit of the old Coldplay. And lastly, LOL with the simple, quick and repetitive guitar riff that would definitely stay in my head for days to come. There are two parts to Terror in Residence original soundtrack. The first soundtrack has more of the classical and alternative rock feel to it, while the second soundtrack, known as Crystallized, possesses more of the avant-garde approach to the already genre-bending music of Terror in Residence. Definitely check out this soundtrack ASAP. I provide links below as always. The animation here is something that is just gorgeous. Having this beauty on the HD television is something that you just have to experience for yourself. The character models look great along with some shots that are just amazing. My favorite character within the looks department goes to this lady who I don't really want to spoil, and also she's one of the figures who I pretty much dislike the most. However, I am a sucker for characters that have white hair and neon aspects. But besides that, the destruction of buildings are just something to marvel at, although some may not take too kindly to it, seeing as though within the state such imagery could remind people of the event that occurred on September the 11th, 2001. Another thing to take note of is that Terror in Residence was banned in a few places, thinking that it would instill the idea within the youth's mind to go out and initiate some of the things done here. But during the time of this review, if you're paying attention to the news and what's going on around the world, this the least of our worries. One of the centralized themes that Terror in Residence I believe to be at the forefront of this show are the damaging effects older adults can burden children with if they're not careful. Every teenager that is a main or supporting cast all either suffer from some deficiency within their upbringing, causing them to respond in a rebellious type manner towards the adults who caused it. You have parents that don't give much time to their children and is quite surprised when they do. You have organizations utilizing children more so as a tool of use rather than actually acknowledging any sense of their humanity. One can see the effects of such type grooming will lead to either creating monsters or a positive individual who will benefit society, others, and themselves greatly. Psychologically speaking, it is a proven fact that a child is impressionable, easily influenced, and is considered a blank canvas for one can mold or shape them. So it is of the utmost importance to be aware of what a child is exposed to, because such a decision will leave others to feel the consequences of such. Let's look at bullies, criminals, or people who condone such acts that would be considered immoral, unlawful, or wrong. Most are or were subjected to things that would then mature into their behavior as a byproduct. In this anime's case, it would be considered terrorists. What sets this notion apart from the feces in the anime is that although it would be unconventional to take their approach, it's all centered around making a statement without it having others to be negatively affected, with no casualties of innocent bystanders. This is what made me the viewer root for them. Otherwise, without such boundaries or rules established for themselves, there would be what this character is, a complete nutjob with no respect for human life. If there was one thing that I did not like about this anime, is how dumb the American police organizations are. On the back end of this series, an event goes down at an airport where many lives were at stake. The culprit, who was clearly and undeniably ousted, received no reprimand and did not have to face any accountability for such heinous actions. And what sucked the most is that the American police was right there the whole entire time watching this individual doing what she was doing. Not one of them questioned anything, they just let this slide. Then at the end of the show, they showed up again and did something that was unforgivable. These guys are assholes if you can't tell. Other than that, this anime overall was enjoyable. The production was of quality, the characters were memorable, and the ending left me feeling a tad bit of sadness. Terror in Residence is now available for streaming on Crunchyroll and a couple of other places as well. I'll have the links for you in the description below. And until next time, peace.